I was asked a question the other day, and I've been thinking about this for a number of years actually, relating to systems in a business. It was in the context of CRMs, a CRM system, and CRM kind of spills into a number of different areas, and I thought I'd kind of draw up my thinking on a chart and see if this resonates and helps anybody. So, I mean, CRM is around contact record, but there's multiple systems in a business that are kind of require visibility of contacts and as a contact record. So you've kind of got your bookkeeping system, which all businesses kind of need to have. That takes care of sort of invoicing and purchasing, bank accounts, the outputs, so, you know, P&L reports and balance sheets, you know, management accounting, tax, and financial accounting are kind of important outputs from that. Coming to the other end, sales and marketing. So we have a sales and marketing system, or requirement for a sales and marketing system. And within here, we've got the kind of, again, the contact list. And what we're really looking to do with a sales and marketing system is, can we segment our list? Can we segment the database? Can we communicate effectively with people on our database? Because we want to build a list, we want to build a relationship, and then we want to generate kind of opportunity continuously. So that's the role of the marketeer, and then the role of the salesman is to turn that opportunity and those relationships into sales. So that leaves us kind of this middle section here, which is the kind of the operational management. And the way I've drawn this, you'll notice, hopefully you can see that there's a number of circles, but there's a big overlap. There's a big potential overlap here. So from sales and marketing, we've then got order management systems and shipping and that type of stuff. Well, very often CRMs can do that, but it's not necessarily the best place to put that task in an operational system where, or an operational requirement where it's a very simple thing and you're selling a book or a product or a parcel of time, for example, that's this very defined. You know, a CRM system like Infusionsoft can take care of that, no problem whatsoever. It can take care of shipping, but as soon as you've got much more elaborate picking and warehousing and order management requirements, and you've got multiple products, you probably need some kind of more e-commerce solution, and then maybe a warehouse management solution. You know, and that's outside the scope. Realistically, that's outside the scope of a marketing and sales CRM, but definitely operational requirements. Somewhere in here, you've got billing and settlements. And a transaction history. Now again, your marketing, sales CRM, your operational management system might take care of that, but that kind of needs to go into invoicing and purchasing and your bookkeeping system, and it's unrealistic that your operational system or your marketing and sales system will do the bookkeeping aspects. So you're going to have a kind of a flow there. Depending on what the operation is, you might have some documentation requirements. You might have some compliance requirements. You might have project management. Now, there's great systems that kind of do these things, tending not to be kind of a CRM system. So what you tend to find is that the CRM people that say we're great with project management, yeah, they specialize in that, but they're pretty rubbish at the marketing and the sales and the lead generation, the lead capture and the nurture and all the stuff, but they are good at that. In the same way is that you can make marketing and sales systems like Infusionsoft kind of do this stuff. You can definitely make it do this stuff, but you're bending it, so you're coming to the edge of what the marketing system was designed to do operational stuff. So really you have to figure out, well, what is the scale of each of these parts for the business? This is pretty much a given. You know, so you've got Sage, QuickBooks, Xero, FreshBooks. You know, there's an awful lot of requirements. There's an awful lot of systems that can do this, and this is pretty standard stuff. And you can just select whichever makes more sense to you. Just buy that one and get on with it. No big deal. It is worth having a look at whether your operational system and your sales and marketing systems interact with whatever you buy. So for example, for Infusionsoft, if you go with QuickBooks or Xero down here, Infusionsoft through something called Invoice Sync, there's a connector, it's very easy to do, no problem whatsoever. It doesn't give me a problem passing the data through, so I can do that, happy days. Select that one, pretty much whatever I fancy, very often driven by your accountants, of course, what they use and what they recommend. this part here, you know, there's some requirements here, there's some simple stuff. You know, we do work with companies that have got a MailChimp thing going on here. It's not as good as Infusionsoft, but it works fine. Sales, then you're probably going to tag on something like Pipeline if you want to get serious about sales and you're using MailChimp, or Infusionsoft does all of that. And then depending on what your operational requirement is here, depends on what you're selecting. So really the requirements that businesses have down here tend to be pretty similar. So all the requirements are pretty similar. The requirements down here tend to be pretty similar. And it's kind of this bit that's more bespoke, or kind of industry based. And if you have a particular requirement, then you can pick whatever you like there. You can pick whatever you like here. I would go with best in breed, and I would go with Infusionsoft because it's the best, in my opinion, that's there. But there are plenty of other systems that do work. And then this bit here, are you able to do what you want to do inside Infusionsoft, or do you need to consider a bespoke system? Okay, it's unlikely, in my opinion, that you would be able to do what you want to do here using your bookkeeping system. Although I do note that Xero have introduced something called projects. I think it's more around project billing than project management, but they've got that in there. And then obviously if you are an accountant, if you're in the accounting industry, then Xero have Workflow Max, and QuickBooks have a practice management system that kind of take care of this and link over there. Neither of those are any good, frankly, for sales and marketing, but it might be that your operational system is determined, if you're in the accounting industries, by something that links to your favourite client's bookkeeping system. But most of us, we need to have a think about this and think about where is the added value? Where is the system adding value, and where is the system giving you a competitive advantage? And if the system is giving you a competitive advantage, then it's worth investigating having that system. So the competitive advantage for you might be your time saving and your operational efficiency saving versus your competition, which means you can either reduce your price or, more interestingly, and I would recommend this, is make more profit. By having operational systems that are more effective for you. There might be some industry standards that's worth looking at, and then the requirements here tend to be standard. Infusionsoft, in my opinion, is the answer most of the time there, and any one of the answers there. Kind of, it's worth thinking about. It's worth about putting down what your real requirements are and really understanding your real requirements, and then how does that, and this is the trick, how does that connect to these other things that you do need to do? Because there is little point in having a system here that is great, but it doesn't kind of connect in your business workflows over here, or is fed actually from over here. So you've got to do that thinking too, and sometimes that connection actually determines, okay, what you would use in here. And unless the system is giving you competitive advantage, why wouldn't you make your life easier by using something in this end to work here, if it can, and connecting here, if it can? Okay. My suggestion is be very careful to pick systems that don't connect and therefore leave you needing to do manual work to move data around, or to not actually connect up all your systems, which would be for you an efficiency problem later on. Hope that makes sense.